Hi Stitchy friends, this is Heather, the 20-Minute Stitcher, coming at you today with episode 53. Today is Sunday, November 19th, 2023. My pronouns are she, her. Let's get right into it. If you watched episode 52, you'll know that in this month of September, in this month of November, I am just celebrating my gratitude for this Stitchy community and those of you who watch my videos episode after episode, comment, are part of my Stitchy community with grateful gifts. So I figured I'd start today's episode off with announcing the winners of the gifts from my last episode, and then we'll get into the stitching. All right, so we'll get right into it. The first gift was Cornelius from Chicken Club by the Bee in My Bonnet Co., Lori Holt. And the winner of that gift is Kinsley Costner 2431. Congratulations. Gift number 2 was a Mill Hill Kit, Christmas Gnome by Jim Shore. And the winner of this one was Dawn Thrift. Dawn Thrift, congratulations. And the third gift was the February 2021 issue of the World of Cross Stitching magazine. And the winner of that is Audrey Fleming. So congratulations, all the winners. What I would ask you to do is email me. My email is in the description box below, and provide me the shipping address to which you want me to send your gift, and I will get them off to you within the next week to 10 days. So congratulations. Thank you for watching. Thank you for commenting. Thank you for being part of my community. Let's get into the stitching, and then we'll do some more gifts at the end of this video. So I will tell you, friends, I don't have a lot to show. I kind of have not had much of a stitchy bug the last week or so. So most of the stitching that I have to share today is really stitching I did like a week and a half to 2 weeks ago, right after I filmed my last video. I just sort of I was really into the book that I was reading. So I was spending a lot of my time reading and finishing that book because it was very good. I was reading Crooked Kingdom by Leigh Bardugo. I feel like I should know how to pronounce her last name because, right, she's so popular. Crooked Kingdom is the sequel to Six of Crows, which, if you follow it all, that's part of the Grisha verse. The books, the crows are actually separate from the characters in Shadow and Bone, but in the Netflix series, which sadly was just canceled. I understand why, but I also am very sad. Anyway, I spent a lot of time reading that book. In fact, I spent like 2 hours this morning with my coffee and a blanket finishing the book because I was like, I have to know how this ends. And it was so good. If you like fantasy at all and you have not read those books, which I typically am the last person to the party, so I assume that most of you, if you're interested in that stuff, have read the books. But if you have not read them, I highly recommend Six of Crows and Crooked Kingdom. Excellent series. All right, so that said, I don't have a ton of stitching, but I can show you what I have done. So I have worked on 4 different projects, including one new start. So we'll start with that. So as you'll recall from my last video, I am stitching the Creepy Christmas Creepy Christmas Village Sal by Lola Crow Studio. And in my last video, I showed the first ornament and my start on it. On November 10th, she released the second ornament. Here is a picture of what it looks like. It is, I forget exactly what the name of it is, the Haunted Holiday Mansion or something like that. I have just a puny, teeny, tiny little start on it. And a couple hanging threads, so you'll have to forgive me. But here is my start on the Haunted Holiday Mansion or Haunted Holiday House. I forget exactly what it's called, but you will have seen it in the picture. So just a very, very small start. This was released on November 10th. I started it on November 13th. And just like the other one, I'm stitching all of these ornaments on the called for fabric, which is Elephant Run by Fox and Rabbit. I am stitching the 36 count linen. So that is Haunted Holiday House. I also worked a little bit more on the first ornament, which was the Creepy Carolers. I wanted to have that done for today's video. Have it finished, but again, I just was reading rather than stitching. But here is where that ornament was the last time I filmed, and here is where I am now. So I finished color completing the black by finishing the top of the lantern there. And I color completed one of the reds, right? So it's in this gentleman's coat over here, the spine of their caroling book, and this woman's hat and jacket here. So I'm almost 50% done with this ornament. So hopefully by the next time I film, it will be finished. Actually, hopefully by the next time I film, both of them will be finished. I'm trying very hard to keep up with this Sal. This most recent Friday was a week off. That's the pattern she's following. 2 releases a week off, 2 releases a week off, and then the last 2 releases. So that is my progress, my start and my progress on the first 2 ornaments of the Creepy Christmas Sal by Lola Crow. All the rest of my stitching time has been focused on my November Whip Go calls, which were, let's start with this one. So my first call was Move Forward in Love by Modern Folk Embroidery. Here's the printout of the finished piece. I am doing the full color version. He also had a monochrome version. I am stitching mine on a 32 count Lugana in the color Frost by BeStitchMe. It's still in the hoop and has hanging threads because that's just how I roll. My goal is 1,000 stitches in November, so I have to get moving on this one because I have put in about 360. So I think the last time I showed this to you, I had stitched this black bird here, and that was it. I finished this flower. I added in the purple leaf on this flower. I stitched part of the purple here, or the purple, part of the pink here, filled in the color there. And then I decided, rather than try to finish one page, because it's too many color changes, what I am doing now is this dark blue here, which I think I'm gonna have to go buy another skein of it, is sort of what ties everything together across the whole pattern, right? So it is, it is the border of the center medallion. And then it is the branches of all of the flowers and plants that are coming off the center medallion. So I figured if I go around and stitch that color, if I color complete that color, then I don't necessarily always have to be changing my color all the time. I will have reference points to count off of, to thread floss under, to kind of jump around a little bit more. Because I love colorful patterns. I have learned in my years of stitching, I don't love patterns where I have to stop and start a whole bunch, right? I lose interest very quickly if I'm constantly having to stop and start to change colors. So I have learned in patterns like this that I do better if I can find a way to do what I'm trying to do now, which is sort of find the color that kind of threads through the whole pattern, stitch that color as completely as I can, and then use that as a reference point to then be able to not have to stop and start as frequently. I'm hoping that makes sense. But anyway, so that is my progress on Move Forward in Love. I will spare you me trying to shove the paper back in the bag. My other Whip Go call, did I mention my goal on that is 1,000 stitches, and I have like 360-ish done. So I still have a ways to go. Then my next call was Positively Bedeviled. I will have to put on the screen who, oh wait, hold on. This is by, I would have guessed correctly, KC Cross Stitch on Etsy. This is a quote from Schitt's Creek. Love it. And my work life is bedeviled with meetings. There are days where I spend a whopping 20 minutes at my desk actually doing work, and the rest of my time in meetings. So here's a picture of where it was the last time I showed it to you. My goal for this project, because when I purchased it, it was just I started it with just a paper printout because I didn't have Markup RXP. This is one of my oldest patterns. I think I started it in 2022. Sorry, I'm opening it back up in my Notion app. No, 2021. I started this in November of 2021. So this poor thing just had its second birthday and is still not finished, which is kind of silly because it's not very big. But again, it was another one with a lot of color changes, and I got frustrated and bored stitching on it. Oh, my daughter is calling me. One moment. All right, I'm back. So again, I got bored having to switch the colors all the time. So now I have it digitally. I have it in my Markup RXP, and I have found the color that threads through the whole piece. I mean, in the wreath, all of the colors thread through, but I have identified which of the greens is the green that forms the whole wreath, basically. And so I'm working on stitching that. So here's the picture of where it was before, and here it is now. So I almost have the wreath closed with that green. And then I think the rest of it will stitch very, very quickly. This is on my whip down Sal list, which I have fallen very far behind on. So I'm very hopeful that my Stitchy Bug returns for the Thanksgiving weekend, because the kids are with their dad, I'm off work. There's no reason for me not to have hours upon hours of blissful stitching time. So my hope is to have this finished as well here very, very soon. But that is where I am now. And this is just being stitched on a white linen that I had in my stash. I have no idea where it's from or who it's from or anything, or even, I think it's a 28 count. Looks like a 28 count, so I'm guessing it is. And I'm just stitching it with the called for DMC. And that's it for my stitching. I did go a little crazy with some shopping, kind of my last end of year hurrah, because I am working on kitting up my projects for 2024. So I have mentioned in a previous video that I have set some very overly ambitious goals for myself for 2024. And I'm trying to get myself organized for them. And my thinking was, I am learning how to record my screen. So I am going to film a video that is just focused on my plans for 2024. But I am actually hoping to have most, if not all, of the patterns that are part of my plans kitted. So then I can have more of a kit parade rather than just a here's the chart kind of a thing. So my thinking is, sorry, I'm getting a little into plans now, but that's okay. My thinking is I have this video. My next regularly scheduled episode is the weekend of December 1st, which is Jingle Ball. I will most likely still record, but I will be attending the Jingle Ball as well. So if you're going to be there, see you there. It'll be fun. But I am thinking then probably that first or second week of December, I will probably have a couple of extra special episodes. I will do my year-end whip parade, and I will film a video about my 2024 plans where I hope I will have mostly kits to show you. So that is one of the reasons why I have more acquisitions than usual this time around, because I've been kitting from stash as much as I can, but there are some patterns that either I don't have fabric large enough in stash at the moment, or at least not in the right colors, or I wanted a particular type of fabric. And then one where I wasn't expecting to buy it at all, but I saw the colors and was like, I want those for that chart that I was going to be kitting up from stash. Now I'm kitting it up here. So let me show you what I have acquired over the last couple of weeks. First, and perhaps most excitedly, the United States Postal Service baffles me. I think I had mentioned before that my extra flosses for the Forbidden Fiber Co. Clue Mystery Sal had been sitting in a postal station in Tennessee for 3 weeks, and that I thought I was going to have to submit a message to them. And literally the day after I filmed that video, they showed up in my mailbox. So they went from sitting in a Tennessee post office for 3 weeks to suddenly being in my mailbox, and no notifications or scan-ins in the tracking system, at least, anytime between then. So whatever. So now I have the rest of the floss that I need to be able to finish that pattern. Hooray, huzzah. very happy about that. Then I also purchased, I don't know why, I was just wandering around on Black Needle Society's website. I'm not a subscriber. I've never purchased one of their boxes. But I was bored and just poking around. And in their vault, I did find a few things. So one is a stocking stuffer for my daughter for Christmas. So Mia, I don't think you watch my videos, but if you are, mute and turn away for the next 5 to 10 seconds. So she loves Six of Crows and Shadow and Bone. So I got her a No Mourners, No Funerals, like microfiber cloth for her phone screen, computer screen, things like that. Okay. All right. Then I purchased for myself from Tiny Modernist Up All Night because it's just too cute. Look at that little owl. It's adorable. I've already made my plans for 2024, so I don't know when this is going to get stitched, but I purchased that. And then I purchased this fabric, 32 count Lugana 1/8 of a yard, Spooktacular. And I have a plan for this one, so I'm excited about that. All right. Then I purchased myself, because I'm kitting things up, some more Adam Hart thread bobbins. I had a coupon for 10 or 15% off from a prior purchase. So I just got just the regular frosted clear acrylic, 50 floss bobbins. They come with a ring, a ginormous ring. I think she must think we're putting all 50 of them on there, but that's okay. Sometimes you have projects with lots of floss and you need a big ring. But anyway, so I bought myself some more Adam Hart thread bobbins. And then I went to my local LNS. I'm fortunate actually to have two needlework shops not too far from me. So this time I went to Crafty Ewe Framing 2, which is fabulous. Love them. With the intention of finally choosing my floss for the Modern Folk Embroidery 2024 SAL, and my fabric for the Dragons A Field Guide SAL, both of which are being started in 2024. I also just picked up some DMC floss that I needed for some of the other projects that I'm kitting up. So DMC floss. Now I have to remember which projects they were for. All right, so thank you to those of you who commented in my last video about, sorry, I was checking the voicemail my daughter left me. Thank you for those of you who commented in my last video about what you thought would be good floss choices for this pattern. I'm actually really excited about my choice. So I did end up going with the more autumnal variegated thread, the 4522. And what I did is, sorry, I don't have my board with me, I don't have my usual light on either. So I know the colors are not showing as well as they usually do. But I ended up pulling out this like deep burgundy purple that's in this floss and found the DMC that matches it. So this is my color palette. It's really not showing up very well, is it? Let me see what I can finagle here. There we go. We'll just put my phone light on it and see if that helps. I don't know if that's helping. Oh, I think it is a little bit. So that is what I chose. So on the cover photo, anything that's in the deep blue, I'm stitching with the solid DMC, which is number 154. And then anything in the red, I'm stitching with the variegated 4522. And I'm just going to stitch this. I have some 28 count like Monaco fabric, white in my stash. So there's all the floss for it. So I think I have, 5 skeins of each. So I'm just going to stitch it on white fabric. I might tea dye it. I don't know. We'll see. I've never tea dyed anything, so maybe that'll be my fun adventure. But so that is ready for the fabric to be cut and kitted. Huzzah. For my Dragons A Field Guide, it just calls for DMC fabric, or floss, I mean. So I'm just going to kit that from stash, but I did want a really cool fabric for it. And so I ended up going with a 36 count linen from, oh no, they didn't write the dyer on here. I think this is a picture of this plus. Oh, that stinks that they didn't write the dyer. Anyway, it's in the color Valor, which I think is Picture This Plus. Isn't that gorgeous? It looks to me like sort of an ancient scroll. I mean, it is called ancient, so I guess that makes sense. But I think the dragons are going to look really, really cool on there. The pattern has colors and pretty much every color family on it. So I wanted something fairly neutral, but with some interest, right? And so this is it. So this is 36 count linen in the color Ancient, which, like I said, I think is a picture this plus. I will do my best to double check that. And if I am wrong, I will put it on the screen. Then the next thing that I actually went to the store for was I wanted to get fabric for Happy Camper by the Blue Flower. So I have some fabric cuts that are large enough for this, I think, in my stash, but they're all like 32 count. And because this chart is so big, I wanted a smaller count because I wanted it to be a little smaller when I'm done. So I ended up choosing a 40 count. Actually, I think I ended up choosing the called for. Yes, I ended up choosing the called for linen, Light Mocha by Zweigart. And just, so it's just a lovely light mocha color. But I got a 40 count linen for that. And that is for Happy Campers. Happy Campers. Couldn't remember if it was plural or singular. All right, and now to the one that I wasn't intending to get anything for, but I saw the fabric and was like, that fabric is beautiful. I love that. I thought, you know what? This chart would look beautiful on this fabric if I can find the right floss to go with it. So the chart I'm talking about is Gather Here by Hello from Liz Matthews. So this was a recent acquisition. It was on sale on, I think, Hollis Hands Creates website or Etsy store. So, and I wanted to do, I love this, but I was thinking this would be a fun, maybe tone on tone pattern. And I saw this gorgeous cut of fabric, 36 count Valor. Again, I think from Picture This Plus. And I just thought it was beautiful, a beautiful green. And so I went over to the floss wall and found Emerald by Dinky Dyes. And I just really, really like that tone on tone and am excited about it. And so now Gather Here is kitted. Hooray! So that was my final acquisition and purchase. So now I really am done through the rest of the year. Actually, that's not true. I did order 2 more cuts of fabric from BeStitchMe because when I was going to kit things up, I discovered that the Statehood Splendor series by Thread Milk Designs, that I have purchased the pattern for each of the states that I have lived in, and I wanted to stitch them all on the same fabric. And I had a fat quarter of that fabric that I thought that I was saving for them and that I apparently cut and used in other things. So when I went to kit up a couple more of those Statehood Splendor patterns for 2024, I didn't have any of the fabric. So I ordered more of that fabric. So that's on its way. And then there was another color that I saw that I thought would be perfect for one of my 2024 patterns. So that is on its way as well. Huzzah. All right, that's everything I have, friends, for today. So let's get into the grateful gifts for this episode. So again, this is in my this season of Thanksgiving, in this world where there's so much sadness and chaos and awful things. I just wanted to take a moment again to say thank you, to be grateful for all of the rich blessings in my life. And I will share some more gifts with my stitchy friends. So 3 gifts again today. The first one, for those of you who might like to stitch some things that are practical and useful, I have 2 towels. So one is a huck towel that you can stitch on. It has a pretty large square of Aida fabric here in the middle of the towel that you can stitch on. And then I have more of sort of a regular hand towel with the band that you can stitch on as well. So if you have a pattern that would be perfect for something like this, this one actually comes with a pattern, this watermelon pattern, or not this watermelon pattern, but a watermelon pattern that you can stitch on. You could stitch that pattern there. This one didn't come with a pattern, but you know, You could find something, I'm sure. So this is number 1. And again, we're going to do the same thing we did before. No keyword, nothing like that. Just leave a comment, put the number 1 in it, and the comment picker will hopefully pick you. Gift number 2 is another Chicken Club pattern. This time it's Florence from Lori Holt Be in My Bonnet. So if you would like this, number 2. And the final one coming into the Christmas season, from It's So Emma Stitchery, cookie cutter ornaments in winter and Christmas themes. So this is number 3 if you would like this. As I mentioned, just leave the numbers, no code words, just use the actual number, don't spell them out, please. And usual rules apply. Please don't use the word giveaway or any of those sorts of things. Please be over 18 so that I can ask for your address. I will ship anywhere in the world, and please be a subscriber, because this is my way of expressing gratitude for those of you who come back time and time again, who subscribe to my channel and who are part of my community. So, I mean, if you win and you're not a subscriber, I'm still going to send it to you, but I would appreciate you clicking that little subscribe button, and liking the video and doing all the YouTube things. So thank you for being part of my community. Thank you for being part of my stitchy journey. I hope that you enjoy. If you are new here, I hope that you come back. For those of you in the United States who celebrate Thanksgiving, I know for many of us, the more we know, the more it's sometimes from a historical standpoint, a very troubling holiday, but from the spirit of Thanksgiving generally, it's an important one, especially in this chaotic world we live in. I do think it's important to take time to pause and reflect upon and have gratitude for the blessings in your life, because even in the darkest of moments, there are still blessings. And I wish those of you celebrating this week good times. And I wish all of you, no matter where you are in the world or what you might be celebrating in this season, I wish you all peace and joy and blessings upon you. And I will sign off as I always do. Hug your loved ones, take care of yourself, and I will see you in the next one. Bye.